Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to Mary's little house on this beautiful spring day. I was just outside with the dogs and I picked this little violet, wild violet. They're purple, uh, a sign of penance, but they're also little and small. And in our tradition, Christian tradition, they represent humility, because they grow so close to the ground, to the humus. Humility is the foundation of all our spiritual life. Humility acknowledges our littleness and our complete inability to do any good without Jesus, without the grace of God. And these little violets are all over our front yard, the backyard too, and spread a carpet of purple. I love them so much. I've got a glass in there, a little small, sort of like a shot glass, and with these ends floating in there in the water there, to remind me of humility and of penance too, because violet is a sign of penance too. They're lovely. So it reminds us of humility. When we're humble, there's no competition. When we're humble, we just want to be the servants of all. We just don't care about those things about getting ahead or being first in line or all those things. That has nothing to do. Jesus even says, take the last place. So anyway, the little violet of spring, and they grow all during the summer, but they get lost in the blades of grass that are taller than them, and you have to search for them next to the humus, the earth, God's good earth, God's ground, God's soil. So the reminder, humility, the violet. Okay, at this session of Take 10 with Jim, number 76, I want to say that today, April the 7th, is the anniversary of the death of our foundress, Cynthia Louise Marie Rellihan. She's our founder, and this is so important birthday. I was already celebrating. I went to see Cindy's tomb and kiss her tomb. It's in a mausoleum right at the foot of Belleville, Illinois, on Main Street. It's on the bluff too. Mary's little house is on the same bluff, on the same topographical bluff, the bluff of the Mississippi. These are soft bluffs here. They're not with rockiness and crags and things, but soft bluffs. But anyway, she's on the bluff at Mount Carmel Cemetery, Catholic Cemetery. And as many of you know, when she died and I was selecting all the tomb and everything, I thought we would be, Cindy and I, out in the pauper's grave. They had just opened a new St. Joseph's as a plot, a whole new thing. We were watching it, and I watched it being developed and graded and everything. And in that plot was a place for people who are poor, and that's where I thought we would be ending up, and that would be just fine with us. But anyway, during the negotiations at the office of the cemetery, the manager who takes care of the plots and everything came in and told me, while we were talking at the long table with the cemetery authorities, that there was the mausoleum was there was open. There were places for Cindy and I in the mausoleum. Well, we never even, that wasn't on our radar screen. Mausoleum, that's lots of big bucks. Anyway, he explained that the mausoleum was about the same price as a grave when you consider the opening of the grave, the digging of the grave, the plot itself, the awning, the chairs, all that stuff, and the tombstone, that it's the same price, maybe even less. So I said, of course I'll have a mausoleum, because one of Cindy's passions was to go to the graves of the saints, and usually they were in mausoleums or underneath an altar. And so wouldn't it be wonderful to have Cindy in a mausoleum? So he went out to look which one, and selected, came in. So we got you one facing St. Louis, facing west. Well, I wanted to go the other way, the east, the sunny side. But I said, okay, but I wasn't very enthused. Then he came in again and says, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't a double, a double for 2 caskets for Cindy and I. But there's one on the east side facing the Lady of Mount Carmel statue and the sun. So that's the one. Now, I didn't know about this, but I said yes to that one, and I was very happy about it. But when I went out to see it, the actual place where Cindy would be buried or entombed, in front of it was a word, life. It was part of the mausoleum's decoration. I am the resurrection and the life. Cindy's tomb is right where the life is, the big letters life. Her whole ministry and her whole passion was for life, human life, with all its wonderful details and beauty. Life of the unborn. That was the way we began our ministry, and we continue. We carried the infant Jesus right back in the back here, all around the world to witness life. So here, Cindy, I didn't even know about it. In front of her tomb, where they take the panel off and put this casket in, was life. From from John's Gospel, I am the resurrection and the life. And then, so anyway, I said, oh my God, how providential. Another thing is, when I kneeled down at Cindy's tomb like I did today and gave her many kisses, or the tomb, or her name there and her dates, my lips go right to her name, right to her name. It's not way up there on the 6th floor of the mausoleum. It's right down where I can kneel and kiss the name of Cynthia Louise Marie Rellihan. Oh, anyway, she died on December 8th, the feast day, our big feast day, after we had just consecrated ourselves renewed our consecration to Jesus through Mary and Joseph. We keep the Holy Family together. Dad has to be in that family portrait too. So we consecrate ourselves to Jesus through Mary and Joseph. That's how we enter into membership, or to participate in our little family of Mother of God Ministries. So I just want to mention that, and that's where I was just now before I came in to do the YouTube. Now Pete's here too. He's resting. I'm putting him to sleep now. He's not paying attention to a word I'm saying. Anyway, he knows it all anyway. So then I went to the little chapel of Christ the King, right below the great the amphitheater and the great hymn of the Blessed Mother, and just all, it's right below. It's a very humble place too. We could see the ends of the big pillars that hold up the main shrine above. I love it. It's like a womb there too. It's right in the earth and under all these beautiful structure. But Jesus is present there, and many graces were given to us there. Anyway, I went with Cindy, and there was just a real grace, and I asked her to bring me up to the tabernacle. Nobody was in the chapel, and to because she is my spouse, my wife. She has marital rights over me, and in virtue of her marital rights over me, over my body, and in virtue of the gift that I have given to her of myself as her husband, she has a right to give me to Jesus, and another right too. When she invited me to be co-founder, we had this sharing of this ministry to co-found this religious, spiritual family in the church, and so by right of her marriage right, by right of the gift that I am to her, and by right of sharing this mission within the church of co-founding the Mother of God spiritual family within the church, I asked you to offer me again to Jesus, united with his Eucharistic heart pounding right in that tabernacle for love of me, to unite me, to put me on the vacant cross. Jesus doesn't need that cross anymore. To put me there, and to offer me with Jesus to the Father, for the salvation of souls, for the building up of the body of Christ, and the fulfillment of our mission as Mother of God. So I just got back from all of that, so I'm just fresh from it all. So I'm wishing Cindy a happy birthday. I got some ice cream. Don't tell my doctor. In the refrigerator for tonight, after when work's all done, to celebrate too. This little treat with Cynthia Louise Marie Rellihan. It's her birthday today. I am so grateful to her, and I'm so happy for the church that she has her, and for the ministry that she started here within the church. God bless you now. Have a wonderful Lent.